I'm clean so far. Is this the match we're gonna clean? I hope I didn't freaking jinx it now.
Back. Impact. Well done.
It took me 7 years to do what I did this past weekend. You see, I finally managed to shoot the perfect precision rifle match. I cleaned the entire match. Now, what does this mean? This basically means that you cannot miss a single shot. You hit every single shot that you take. And as you can imagine, when I squeezed off my last round, which was one of the hardest shots of the match, 618 meters if memory serves, at a relatively small target, hiding behind the bushes, when I saw that steel move and the bullet smash into the steel, I was massively relieved, because I know that I'd achieved this sort of thing that had eluded me, because I've come so close on multiple occasions to get the perfect match in the book. So in today's video, I'm going to take you guys through the tools that I used, the mindset I was in, and sort of why I think I finally managed to tick this box. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Now, some brief history with my precision rifle journey. When I shot my very first match, this was beginning 2017, I came stone dead last, okay? I think I hit like 5 shots for the whole match. And if you times my score by 10, I still wouldn't have been able to place on the podium for this match. But I figured out in that match what I needed to work on to become a more proficient shooter, and I quickly put systems in place and I started training to figure out what I needed to figure out, and I started getting competitive relatively quickly after that. Now, when that started happening, I also launched this YouTube channel, and then all of a sudden I was juggling way more than the average person when they go to a match. You see, when I go to a match, I'm usually doing all of my dope and all of the normal things that people do, spotting when other shooters are shooting. But then I have another complete job where I'm multitasking, you know, I'm filming, trying to get a storytelling, making sure the cameras are all set up, managing all my other stuff. And usually, also that means that when it's my time to shoot, I was busy fiddling with something else and I quickly run up to the stage and I kind of do what I can do. And as a result of that, my concentration for the last couple of years have been very much divided between working and then doing the shooting bit. Now, this past weekend, I didn't do any camera stuff. I just decided, because I also needed for me to just go to a match, have a little fun, and not worry about working at the match too, if that makes sense. So I was very much in a focused sort of headspace. I roam around between squads and chat to people throughout the day. I didn't do that at all. I just stuck with my squad, helped some of the newer shooters that was with us, and it was a freaking fantastic day, and I could only focus on one thing, and that was squeezing off the perfect shots, making sure my dope was right. I was spotting when other shooters were shooting so I could see their trace, had a good idea of what the wind was doing. Now, one of the challenges that I faced during this match is I started every stage first. I was the first shooter on all 6 stages. Now, briefly, it is not a massive precision rifle match. It's only 36 shots. So we had 6 stages with 6 shots per stage. And as I said, I started every stage first. Now, that's slightly a disadvantage because usually the guy that goes first, you know, at these matches, we share win calls and do all of those kind of things. Usually when the guy goes first, he'll say, I held 0.5 for win, for example, and that gives the next guy a relatively good idea of what to do. Whereas in my case, you know, at some stages we were getting like 16, 17 km/h winds. I was kind of hoping my win calls were right, and they were right. And yeah, so I'm very thankful for that. And what I also like about that challenge is it forces you to stay on top of the conditions and make sure that your wind calls are good, and it really enforces that skill to make your own wind calls. Because sometimes what could happen if you're a newer shooter and you're relying on other people giving you wind calls, what should you be holding for the wind, that makes you lazy and delays the development of that skill. So perhaps if you need to develop that skill, try taking less information from your fellow shooters at a match and try make your own wind calls and make corrections based on that. That's a very good skill to unlock, and it's going to help you in all the other disciplines that we end up finding ourselves shooting. Now, brief run through of the tools. I was shooting my trusty 6-dasher in the J. Allen Enterprise chassis. This is an MDT product now. MDT has recently acquired J. Allen. These are hitting the market. I got a Ferrari red one. If you guys want a full updated breakdown video on this rifle, let's get to 1,500 likes. So just all you got to do is hit the like button, and as soon as this video hits 1,500 likes, I will smash out a comprehensive breakdown of this rifle in its current configuration. If you're looking to build a custom rifle or something like that, it's massively beneficial to sort of see the components that other people have selected. So quick as you can, hit the like button so I can make an updated video on my Ferrari race gun for you guys, because it'll be a fun one to do. Now, the conditions were challenging throughout the day. The wind was kind of starting off in the morning. You know, we had like a little bit of wind, 10, 12 kilometers per hour. Midday, it kind of dipped a little bit where it wasn't quite as windy. And then when we ended our day, the wind started picking up nicely again. Unfortunately, you know, sometimes a shooter will go down. For whatever reason, he'll be shooting in a gust of wind. I was quite lucky that the wind was relatively the same when I was doing my wind readings versus when I was engaging the target. Obviously, when we're doing our wind readings with our kestrels, it gives us an idea of the wind on the shooter's location. But this terrain, we're shooting into this valley, so it's very much an estimation of what the wind is going to be. But yeah, as I said, I was just lucky that my wind calls were on point. I didn't have any dope issues. Funny story we'll get to at the end of this video, how I did have a dope issue at the end of the match, which was hilarious. But yeah, I was just super happy that I remained focused. My wind calls were consistent, and it was pretty chilly actually this day, but all in all, a fantastic day at the range with like-minded people. And it really was so cool for me not to work this match and like worry about videos and stuff like that, because I could really just connect to the guys at the match, and it was super refreshing take on going to a match and just enjoying it for what it is. Now, what was funny for me is as the day sort of progressed and I knew I was getting closer to potentially having the perfect match, I knew what stages we still had to shoot, and I knew that we would be finishing on probably one of the hardest stages, furthest target of the match. The wind was also picking up, and usually the wind picks up towards the end of the day also. So I was getting more and more nervous, okay, that like, it's kind of like when you shoot a good, you want to shoot a great 5-round group, you've put 4 rounds like basically where you want them, and now it's that last shot. And the exact same thing happened to me. Like as I closed my bolt on the very last shot, I hadn't thought about this at all until I had to squeeze off that last shot, and I was like, Pete, don't blow this. And I was just praying that the wind was the same, because I'd already engaged this target with 2 additional rounds, but it was kind of like shoot the front one, shoot the back one, front one, back one, front one, and now I had to shoot the far target for the last time. And as I was about to squeeze off that round, I was just like, let's hope the conditions are the same. I clacked off the round, but there was a moment there where I was like, don't screw this up, you know. Round went, steel moved, my hands went up in the air, and it was just pure relief. It was super cool. Now, this isn't a super hardcore, crazy small target match. It was just a fun shooting match, and I managed to clean the match, which was freaking awesome. And I hope that all of you guys get to experience that throughout your precision rifle journey. Now, real quick, if you want to become a more proficient rifle shooter and you want to unlock some skills that I've learned along the way, 2 years ago, we put together a phenomenal online training course where you can learn precision rifle in the comfort of your own home. I give you some drills to take away, to go to the range, to dry fire. It has been massively beneficial to the thousands of students we've put through there. It's a once-off purchase. The link to that is down below, and you guys supporting us on that really helps us out a ton. In fact, what I will do for you guys, I will do a coupon where you can get 25% off the course if you use the code, and that's going to give you a hell of a great tool set to go and refine your craft. Now, here's the fun story with my dope issue after the match. If you've ever seen my posts on social media, you know I'm pretty dyslexic because there's usually spelling mistakes everywhere, and I want to thank all the regular guys for pointing those out to me. The worst part is when people send me screenshots and they're like, hey, there's a mistake, and I read it and I don't see the mistake. That happens quite regularly, more than I'd like to admit. Now, at the end of the match, we usually do this thing called the bonus stage, where you shoot for like a challenge coin essentially. And it was also a target at, I think it was 830 meters, so quite far. And how the format works is you got to run up, put your rifle down, rip 3 shots as fast as you can. It's going to go to score first. If there is a tie on score, it's going to go to the person that does it the fastest. I went up, threw my rifle down, racked the bolt as fast as I can and ripped 3 shots. And due to the nature of this, you just got to go for broke here. You can't wait and see until where your rounds are landing. Pop, 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 my 3 shots go and they all land like over the target. And then what I'd done is, in my sort of confusion dyslexia state, I took my Kestrel out. I think the dial was something like 6.5 or 6.8, and I dialed like 8.6 or whatever. I'd done something to that extent, and all 3 of my rounds sailed with a perfect wind call over the top of the target. And it was just like how I went from crushing the previous speed stage at the last match we had to absolutely blowing it on this speed stage was quite funny. Anyway guys, I thought there would be some valuable lessons in here for you. During the whole match, all I was focused on is making good, precise trigger pulls every single time, just to eliminate any potential variables. I was shooting slowly. If I was slightly uncomfortable, I was adjusting my bipod because we had longer stage times. It was 2-minute stages. So I was making sure that I was comfortable. I wasn't shooting unnecessary holdovers when I didn't need to. I will dial in elevation for every shot. I also used like a redundancy scope tape system, which I've done a separate video for you guys on. And by the time this one comes out, that video should be live too. So I'm going to link that over here. Anyway, guys, if you want to unlock skills to crushing precision rifle matches, my training is linked down below, and we've got phenomenal other resources on this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. At 1,500 likes, I'll smash a video for us on the race gun. Thank you for watching. God bless. See you in the next one.